It's on the right hand side, on the left hand side.
Left side.
Hey, did you have a chance to look at the child care?
Yes.
I told you.
Okay. And then it's right there. Yeah, I'll get it. Okay, great, thanks.
Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Let me do this. Board Commissioners moves to approve the June 30th regular meeting minutes.
Second. Roll call?
Tony?
Yes,
Vicky?
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
and we're gonna move into public hearings.
Okay, we're gonna, we have to recess our meeting, right? Okay, it did. Okay, we'll recess into the public hearing. We'd like to welcome everyone today. We have present the library director, Jonathan Harris, and fiscal officer, Kristen Fabian. You guys want to come on up? As far as the public notice, this public hearing is being held today to hear public comment regarding Portage County District Library's proposal fiscal year 2023 tax budget. The tax budget has been on display in the Portage County Commissioner's Office, the District Library's Office, and the Portage County Auditor's Office for public viewing since June 3rd, 2022. Notice of this public hearing was published on June 7th, 2022 in the Record Courier newspaper. Okay, do we have comment from the library director or the fiscal officer?
I can hear clearly. I'll try and project my voice that way.
Do you want to move the podium over?
Yeah.
It's close enough.
I don't have it.
So our budgetary measures have changed a little bit with the passage of the levy. And so now we're seeing growth that pretty much doubles the size of what our budget was in 2022. Well, in 2022, we're starting to see those dollars come through. So we're having fun just trying to appropriate those funds and finding new ways to be innovative and make those dollars as useful as possible, which our director can certainly speak to with all of the programs and innovations that he has come up with to use those dollars. The revenue stream will produce about $30 million over the life of the levy. So we have a lot of work cut out for us at this time.
It's good work, right?
Great work. Not any work that we're going to complain about. And the PLF is also managing and the dollars that we're receiving from that are above estimation. So at this point in time, we really do have money that we're able to be restorative with and capture hours that we lost at one time, include increased staffing that we had to cut about 15 years ago. So yes, there are a lot of wheels in motion at this time.
One thing that we're working with is Springfield Township trustees.
I was just gonna ask.
They are in the process of finding a space for us down there.
Great.
To reestablish another branch, because right now we only have in the southern part of Portage County one branch down at Randolph. So we're looking at increasing footprint down there, bringing back a branch in Springfield. We've also been working with a supplier based out of Columbus on bringing back bookmobile service.
wow.
because we do have a sizable chunk of Portage County community that doesn't have access to a branch library, and those are
Transportation too.
more often in some of the more rural, less,
Mhm.
areas where there isn't as much of a population center to bring people in. So we're looking at ways to make sure that we can get library service out there as well.
Very good. That's exciting.
It's been quite exciting.
It's an interesting time.
So the top five,
Hmm.
open up Brimfield. Mobile.
So right now it is, restoring hours and services at our existing branches. Because, back when the state cut our budget in 2009, we had to make some pretty drastic cuts all over the place. So, first step, because we've already got the locations, is to get hours increased there. We're currently in the process of increasing staffing, so we have people to actually work the hours.
That's helpful.
Yeah, little thing like that. That's been the holdup lately. And, past that, it is, getting the Brimfield branch open, getting bookmobile services back, increasing our outreach, and doing more with programming to get people into buildings as well.
So how much does your levy generate? I know it's probably in here. I have not.
It's about 3 million a year.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Tax revenue. Sorry. I'm getting older. I need to just deal with my readers. Deal with my readers. Okay, Marius. Can you hold this over there?
Michelle, but you're good.
But yeah, does anyone else have any questions?
That's great.
Here?
Congratulations. I'm glad things are going that way for you.
Yes.
Do we have any public comment this morning? If not,
I assume PLF is Orange Library Foundation.
So PLF is the Public Library Fund. Ohio. Well, yeah, Ohio funds, public libraries at the state level, as well as local communities, getting local funding. So until this past year, we were entirely reliant on state funding through the PLF. It's a mixture of mostly income and sales tax revenue that comes from the state and gets divvied up county to county and from there to the libraries inside.
And who administers that in Columbus?
Well,
Or what?
it is at present a set percentage that gets decided in the biennium budget.
Oh,
every
it's
year.
okay.
So,
okay, is there any other comment? If not, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Sabrina,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes,
Okay, we'll go ahead and reconvene the commissioners' regular meeting and pass the resolution, Tony. You have the agenda?
I do have them.
Okay.
I'm looking for a resolution.
Oh, right here. It's on
Oh,
there.
on that's okay. Board of Commissioners moves to approve the Portage County District Libraries tax budget fiscal year 2023.
Second.
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes. Thank you, Jonathan.
Well-
Hi, Brian.
So we also have the Portage Library
Oh,
Consortium.
that's right. That's
There's
right.
You might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, no, we're.
Okay. All right.
Consortium.
So we'll recess into public hearing. I'd like to welcome everyone again, our library director, Jonathan Harris, and our fiscal officer, Kristen Fabian. The public hearing is being held today to hear public comment regarding Portage Library Consortium's proposed fiscal year 2023 tax budget. The tax budget has been on display in the Portage County Commissioner's Office, the District Library's Office, and the Portage County Auditor's Office for public viewing since June 3rd, 2022. Notice of this public hearing was published on June 7th, 2022 in the Record Courier newspaper. Okay, at this time, I'll entertain comment from the library director or fiscal officer.
So obviously levy funds aren't, the consortium is not affected by the levy funds that have been awarded to Portage County District Library. However, we are still working and pooling resources with Reed Memorial and Kent Creek. And that kind of touches several bases from really from a resource sharing standpoint. So we're continuing to do our business and collaborate with Kent and Reed and trying and improving our resource sharing systems and trying to, create efficiencies alongside every other library in the state that has to resource share. So there really hasn't been much change in terms of the budget for the consortium. It gets roughly 3.9% of the public library fund, and it is strictly reliant on those funds, especially since PCDL itself has went fine free, and that's been a couple of years. So we don't really retain much in terms of patron fines, so that it doesn't really attribute to the budget. So we're pretty much reliant on $220,000 a year plus whatever carryover we have. So, but the resource sharing is a very vital part of the process. So it does substantiate and the budget, the dollars that we have to help to keep everything in place. Keep going.
So Kristen, tell us the difference between, and I know this thing, the district library and the consortium libraries. Like, where is Reed Memorial? Is that a consortium or is that in the district?
It's itself.
They're freestanding, so
yes.
they're not in either pocket.
No. So
Okay.
Kent Freed and Reed are
Separate.
we're all separate entities.
Okay.
So yes, they don't fall within our service
Footprint,
area.
yeah.
So that's why we lean towards resource sharing, because we do have patrons who are PCDL patrons, who are also Kent patrons, who are also Reed patrons. So everybody's allowed to, go to a PCDL library and check something out and take it back to the Kent library if they need to. So
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So we do have to track where it gets taken out of, where it gets returned to, make sure it gets back to the appropriate place.
So the consortium isn't anything financial, it's more of a cooperative.
Well, it is financial. It is financially supported by the public library fund of the state. So we
Okay.
do get extra dollars. The consortium itself gets extra dollars, but each individual library does not have to produce any of their own funds to keep it going.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Jonathan, did you have any comments
So-
you'd like to add?
No, just wanted to give context on, what PLC does as a whole. So instead of each individual library having their own catalog system, that sort of thing, that money comes through the Portage Library Consortium budget, since it's something that we all share. It's just the system that we use to work together in that case. But yes, all of one employee for, the actual consortium itself, going through sorting, incoming stuff from all over the state.
Wow.
So.
That's cool. Okay. Do we have any public comment or any questions from the public at this time? If not, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
Yes. Board of
We'll
Commissioners,
reconvene the commissioners' regular meeting.
Board of Commissioners move to approve the library's consortium tax budget for fiscal year 2023.
Roll call?
Yes.
Vicky?
Yes. Yes. All right.
Yeah, one more.
Oh,
No, this is.
this is
Oh,
for
we're-
ours. I was just trying to go over the commissioners one.
No.
You know, what? It's good to see you again, Kristen. And you too, Jonathan. I can call you Brian this time. You always want to call you Brian.
No, this is that is my married name.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Grew up out not Middlefield by,
I bet you.
close to Wellfield Inn.
I bet you my husband's side of the family, his father, the Fabian side, we don't really speak to very much, but I'm leaning towards yes, they're probably.
We have some Fabians in Burnfield too.
Yeah, I think there is a connection.
There, okay.
These started in Cleveland, Buckeye area.
Okay, we're from Niles, like
Okay.
Lordstown,
Okay.
so that's where they kind of started out.
Just take us off subject, Matt.
Sure.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're up.
Okay, we'll recess into the public hearing. Okay, we'd like to welcome this morning the Department of Budget and Financial Management Director, Mr. Joe Harris. The public hearing is being held today to hear public comment regarding Portage County's proposal fiscal year 2023 tax budget. The tax budget has been on display in the Portage County Commissioner's Office and the Portage County Auditor's Office for public viewing since June 21st, 2022. Notice of the public hearing was published on June 8th, 2022 in the Record Courier newspaper. At this time, we'll entertain comments from the Department of Budget and Financial Management
And
Director.
Joe would definitely say towards the audience because you have such a soft voice.
Thank you. I'll sit up here, so.
I appreciate that.
No problem. Seriously. So before we go into the actual budget, I want to talk about how revenues have been for the last couple of years. So we're going to go over general fund revenues and sales tax.
Okay.
So this first slide is general revenues from January for the last 4 years. As you can see, where we are in June, we're now 7.85% over last year. In the last year, we were about 10% over the year before. So, which is showing that we're trending up. And the average trend is 4.95% in the last 4 years. The annual general fund revenue is based on current revenue. So I did 5 months actuals and then estimated 7 months. The average trend is about 4%. So we're estimating 2022 to end the year at 54.1 million. That's 0.71% over last year's. And then, I mean, as years go back, it seems to still make an upward trend. We're going to be requesting, this is all pretty conservative estimates. We're going to be requesting $55,698,047. And that's going to be 2.79% over last year's.
Yeah,
Sure.
last year's was what, 47, was it that
It
we?
was around 46.
Yeah.
For this first 6 months of sales tax revenues for general fund, the average trend is 7.62%. Where we stand right now, we're now 5.96% over last year's. Last year was a pretty big jump from 20 at 12.75. So as of end of June 30th, we're now at 13.6 million. For the entire year for sales tax, average is about 5.19%. This is not going to include like big ticket shopping holidays like back to school or holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Black Friday. So this is actually pretty low at $27.2 million for the year. So we're requesting $28 million under the sales tax line, which will be about 2.69 over this year. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Could I ask you a question? Sales, going back one slide to sales tax revenues at 7.62. How does that figure when sales tax is 7%? Is that just
So that's is the average trend from
The average
20 to 2021.
increase at 7? Thank you very much.
Property tax. So the commissioner's portion is going to be roughly $8.9 million. 7.6 general fund, 1.2 is going to be going to debt fund, which is about 24% of the actual total property tax. Child welfare gets 14%, developmental disabilities gets 44%, and then mental health gets 18%. Our 23 general fund debt obligation is $1,783,050. Property tax will cover 1.267676 million. General fund will cover the rest of it by a transfer if necessary at 515,000. So our revenue request for a general fund is $55,698,047. For a non-general fund, it's going to be $128,188,236, which is total budget request of $183,886,283.
Joe, on that general fund debt obligation, how is that percentage compared to maybe just a couple other years? I mean, that the general fund's covering. I mean, do property taxes cover?
It's usually around 3. So I think I'm gonna say it's a little bit lower because
Okay.
we had a whole bunch of different funds and we refinanced them all to one.
Right, we had a lower interest rate. Right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and save money.
So I mean, it's still around 24%
Okay.
overall.
All right.
The good news is, as you see, as our revenues increase, we have not gone out to debt in over 6 years, which is phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
That's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you.
okay. Did you
Thanks,
have any other points or anything you want to say, Joe?
Well, no, I'm good.
Okay.
You have a public comment?
You know, question, article.
Yeah.
Public debt, you were talking about, that, a big part of that was low interest rates. And as we know, interest rates have boomed and probably will be staying that way for a lot.
Mhm.
And you just mentioned that we haven't gone into debt for 6 years. That's correct. Okay, so that's what I wanted to verify, that you, is there any expectation over the next, over the next couple of years that we might have to go into debt?
It depends. It depends on what projects. And
You don't have
Yeah.
anything.
Nothing that's glaring, no.
No.
Okay, but that's.
No. Nothing huge on the radar.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Is there any other public comment? If not, I'll make a motion to adjourn the public hearing. Roll call?
Sabrina?
Yes.
Yes.
Tom?
Yes.
Okay, we'll reconvene the commissioners' regular meeting.
Board of Commissioners moves to approve the Portage County tax budget for fiscal year 2023.
Second.
Okay, roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Joe. Very nice presentation.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we could do that first.
Okay.
Billy Joe, let's do your one item first. I don't know.
So, yeah, that would be Sue.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm writing. Oh, no. I'm just.
We're just gonna do this really quick, just very quick.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so my one resolution is just our regular third quarter for the running of the resource center at Old Ship.
Board of Commissioners moves to transfer Fund 1413 WIA Fund to Fund 1410 Public Assistance Fund.
Second.
Roll call?
Yes,
Yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
great, thank you. Janet.
Thank you, ladies.
I'm staying with you.
Yeah, you're fine.
And I just have one discussion, and I have Kelly Jo up to talk about the JFS peer support specialist position, which it sounds like on May 19th, she began discussion of this position, but I want to bring her forward again and bring, before you post it and create the job description, for to make sure
Okay.
the board is okay with it.
So as you may recall, Portage County was invited with a few other counties to be a part of the Benefit Bridge pilot program, for which the state is giving Portage, has already provided Portage County with funds to support this program. One of the recommended positions for this program is a peer support specialist that would connect with families that are transitioning, individuals and families that are transitioning from public welfare benefits into self-sufficiency, but would be supporting them on their transition, and that if they're having struggles or needing, mentoring and those things, they would be a touch point. And it would be non-traditional hours. They would be available evenings and weekends as well, but
Yeah.
try to be able to support that transition. So, and again, that is a recommended position from the state. So I did vet the position with our union to see if we could put that into our ASME 1696 pot. And they said, yes, they voted yes on that last week. And so I'd like to move forward with the posting of that position at this time. And Sue could give you funding information if you have any of those questions, but you do have the funds to support it. And these are new dollars.
How long are those dollars available for from the state?
They're available yearly. So like the one that just ended was June 30th. This new pot of money starts July 1 and finishes June 30th. And as long as they keep providing funds, we'll keep providing.
That sounds like a really great idea.
So Kelly Jo, how is the bridge pilot program going? I know it's just in fruition, but
Yeah, and so at our TULIP event, we're going to kind of introduce the new program to the
Okay.
partners there. We have a request for proposal out for some of the supportive services. I don't think we finalized those yet. So once we get this posted, then we will be hiring for that. And then we have the case managers already on staff at OMJ. So July is the real rollout. So we're excited to kind of present it in full form on August 9th. Okay.
It's surprising it took this long to, because you're taking people off of public assistance to mentor them or help them along on their way.
Yeah.
It seems like that would have been an obvious thing to do a long time ago.
Absolutely. And as you recall too, they're giving us funds to provide those supportive services, like the 1 month rent when people's rent goes down, or so we have a nice a la carte menu to help with the financial supports, but we're ecstatic and we are really proud to have been asked in the second cohort too. So more to come on that. Thank you if you support that.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay,
Okay.
journal entries.
Journal entries. Only 6 of them? 8 of them, 8, huh? In accordance with section 305.30 of the Ohio Revised Code, this board's resolution 21-0396, part 9, Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator approval to authorize the transfer of Ross Rizzo, Streetsboro Water Treatment Operator 3 to Streetsboro Wastewater Treatment Facility Mechanic, new position, Portage County Water Resources. Tentative start date is July 11th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to authorize the hire of Carrie Torini, eligibility specialist, replacing Martha Everhart in Portage County Department of Jobs and Family Services. Tentative start date is July 11th, 2022. The Board of Commissioners agrees that this hire is contingent upon the applicant passing the required pre-employment screening.
Second,
Roll call. Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners moves to accept the resignation of Kara Boutte, Clinical Service Manager, Portage County Department of Jobs and Family Services, effective July 6, 2022.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves the internal and external posting of the non-bargaining position, Clinical Services Manager, vacated by Kara Boutte, Portage County Department of Jobs and Family Services.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to accept the job description for the new non-bargaining position, Child and Adult Protective Service Trainer, Portage County Department of Jobs and Family Services.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board authorized the internal external posting of non-bargaining position, Child and Adult Protective Service Trainer, new position, Portage County Department of Jobs and Family Services.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to revise the office manager description, Portage County Internal Services, including the change as a pay grade and job title.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to approve the anniversary probationary step increase for the following non-bargaining employees. Brian Wilski, Maintenance 3, effective June 27th, 2022.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Resolution.
Did you have any comment on the adoption of the amended personnel policy, drug and alcohol policy? Okay,
Talked about last week.
all right.
Board moves to adopt the amended Portage County Board of Commissioners Personnel Policy Manual, Section 3, Drug and Alcohol Policy.
Second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Thank you, Jenna.
Thank you.
Allison, good morning.
Hi, Allison. How are you doing?
Good.
Good.
All right, so these are resolutions to just formally allocate the money for the first 5 water resource projects that you've already approved.
Okay,
And then at the very end of the packet that I had is just one copy of the memorandum from Bridger. They put all 5 projects in
Yeah.
one just because they're all under the same category for the ARPA money. It just makes it easier for our audit process.
Board of Commissioners moves to direct a portion of the county's coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund payment to county's coronavirus 19 response, authorizing the American Rescue Plan Act Fund expenditures for WTRO1.
second,
Roll call.
Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to direct a portion of the county's coronavirus local fiscal recovery payment of county's coronavirus 19 response, authorizing American Rescue Plan Act Fund expenditures, WTRO2.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to direct a portion of the county's coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund payment to county's coronavirus 19 response, authorizing American Rescue Plan Fund expenditures for WTRO3.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to direct portion of the county's coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund payment to county's coronavirus 19 response, authorizing American Rescue Plan Act Fund expenditure WTRO4.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board moves to direct a portion of the county's coronavirus local fiscal recovery fund payment to the county's Corona 19 response, authorizing American Rescue Plan Act Fund expenditures for WTRO5.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes,
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
thank you.
Maybe you'll have that phrase memorized.
I'm gonna erase it.
Thank you.
All right, we got Joe.
Joe?
You're on.
So you get the grand stage, now you get the little bit.
All right, for the discussion, we're still working out the kinks and getting quotes. So whenever the quote is done, we have three options for funding. We can either do general fund entirely in general fund. We can lose money from their telephone line. I think about $300,000 extra, and then the rest of it can come out of general fund.
Okay.
Last thing is to use the extra sales tax.
The sales tax would be okay to use, okay.
I would like to use
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Sales tax.
Agreed.
And the telephone, we're gonna use that, right? The
You
extra
gonna
fund.
use that or?
Well, we have
Yes.
enough in the sales and use tax.
Oh, we do? Okay.
Find it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
Like
let's do that.
1.5 or something like
I
that?
think they had
Yeah,
some
yeah.
other things they were gonna use that
Okay.
telephone fund on.
That qualifies, absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
terrific.
Good news. Good news.
All right.
But wait, there's more.
Okay.
In accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code, this board's resolution 21-0396 and this board's resolution 21-0878. The Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator approval to direct the auditor's office to pay and process the June 30th, 2022 bills, ACH payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and nows as applicable and contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes,
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
board moves to process June 30th, 2022 budget amendments as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes,
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners signed the partial release mortgage release from the lien and operation of certain mortgages and payment from Portage County 3 project. The property located at 9571 Cloverleaf, Wyndham, Ohio, 44288, as recorded on July 25th, 2007, in the amount of $100,000, and the original investment with the accrued interest totaling $222,692 in Portage County records as an instrument number 2007-16587, as presented by the Neighborhood Development Services. Portage County will receive $9,278.83 from the proceeds of this sale.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners assigned the partial release mortgage and release from the lien and operation of certain mortgages from Portage County Housing Project 2, the property located at 6364 Spring Street, Ravenna, Ohio, 44266, as recorded on May 30th, 2002, in the amount of $100,000, the original investment and the accrued interest totaling $239,261 in Portage County records in instrument number 2002-17188, as presented by the Neighborhood Development Services. Portage County will receive $11,393.38 from the proceeds of this sale.
Second,
Roll call, Tony?
Yes.
Vicky?
yes.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Board of Commissioners authorizes President Sabrina Christian Bennett to sign certification of documentation of subsequent exempt for the categorical exclusion project for the Family and Community Services Boiler Replacement Project as presented by the Neighborhood Development Services.
Second.
Roll call, Tony,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Resolutions. Board moves to transfer Fund 0001 General Fund to Fund 1414 Child Support Administration.
Second.
Roll call, Tony,
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board moves to transfer Fund 0001 General Fund to Fund 1410 Public Assistance Fund.
Second.
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board moves to transfer Funds 8300 Solid Waste General Administration to Fund 8314 SWOEPA Community Litter Grant.
Second.
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board moves to cash advance from Fund 8300 Solid Waste General Administration to Fund 8314 SWOEPA Community Litter Grant.
Second.
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Thank you, Joe. Internal Services.
You use the extra cell phone funds for new paper cups and string.
Do what?
For new paper cups and string.
Good job.
For the telephone.
Right. Telephone game. Got it.
Amy, are you calling Joanne?
And others.
And Julie. And Julie.
I guess you're not all done.
Oh, gee.
You're probably true.
Okay, do you want to go ahead and do miscellaneous?
Yes,
waivers?
Board of Commissioners moves to approve the June 2022 adjustment for Portage County Water, Portage County Sewer, and Streetsboro Sewer billing accounts as reported on the adjustment report submitted and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second.
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners received the June 28th, 2022 amended certificate of estimated resources for the year beginning in January 1st, 2022, as submitted by the Portage County Budget Commission.
Second.
Roll call, Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
Yes.
Sabrina.
Yes. That's it. For that. Michelle, will you be home?
So I can, in one update will not be that long, but the second update is going to involve some discussion. So depending upon how long Joanne's going to be up here, I can go ahead and give one update and then
Okay.
move on to the next
Go
one.
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so my update / request is Employee Appreciation Day.
Oh, yeah.
So we had previously talked about pizza parties, ice cream social, a couple other different things. But upon review of a survey, the most often requested or suggestion of employee appreciation was time off work.
Yeah.
So, especially it allows, with the price of gas and some other things, to give them a floating holiday as an appreciation of our employees. I think that'd be a real nice gesture. It also costs the county nothing extra per se, when I say that, because we could use administrative leave. And I also spoke with the payroll department, and they gave me a code that we can use, and I would allow that, or I would send that out to all departments. I also reached out to elected officials. I had 3 respond. 2 were, hey, thanks so much. I think this is a great idea. Another one just had some questions and he never really got back to me. And this might help him out a little bit. To me, I believe we also extend this to union employees because it is administrative leave, not anything particular that would be negotiable per se. And this is also only a one-time event for the rest of this year.
For this
It would
year,
need to be used by the
December
last payroll
31st,
period in December of 2020.
So this is not an every year thing that we're gonna.
And that's not what I'm requesting this time. Right.
I mean, it could
Maybe
be.
next year we come back, right? Let's see where we're at and maybe see how well this goes. And maybe it may be really well received and not too much of a burden on the department directors or elected officials. And maybe we revisit it again. But for now, I do think this is a great way to show Portage County employees how much we appreciate them. And I think we can invite other elected officials to join us. If they choose, that would be great. And if not, that's okay too.
Yeah, I agree.
How do you distribute? So the departments, they could let 10% off, 20% of people off, or if everybody wants the same day.
Well, we can't do it.
So we would deny that. I definitely don't want to put any negative undertone on this, but it's going to be what's in the best interest of the employee / department.
Yeah.
If the department cannot run with having a full 8 hours off, then maybe we split it up in 2 hours. Again, whatever is in the best interest of that department.
Yeah.
I think that what I would like for the board to approve is an 8 hour, which 8 hours
Yes.
for full-time, 4 hours for part-time, to be used at the discretion prior to last pay period in December, with the employee and the department.
I agree.
Oh, Joanne's here. I'm gonna bring her in.
Hey, Joanne, Shannon.
Behind you.
So that was that one. I can bring back a journal entry next week if we're all on board.
Yeah. Hello, hello.
Morning, ladies.
Morning.
Morning.
You got a bunch of stuff.
I bring everything just in case there's a question. Because anymore, I don't want to rely on my memory.
I get it.
I'll join that club.
We're ready to sign Joe.
The first item on our agenda today is about the Wick Lisbon building. So we went back to Joe DiOrio with regards to selling the building to him or whatever. And he cannot afford it right now because of course they just bought the First Bank building up there to move their everything in. So what he countered with is seeing if we would be willing to lease the space still to them, but they want us to take over the utility, pay all the utilities, not just the basement. When I checked, the utilities for a year for gas and electric are like $4,500. So he will raise it from $9 a square foot to $12 a square foot. So he agreed to pay more money and I'm thinking like,
Oh, yeah.
why not?
Let's do it.
What does
Yeah.
that equate to?
How many square feet?
It's $7,500 more a year.
So we're still
That
ahead.
covers it.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. So I don't see a reason why we wouldn't.
Right.
You just let me know, do you want me to take it off the market then? Or do you still want to have it up for sale in case someone does? I mean, he's at least gonna want a year's commitment, I'm sure, from
Right,
us,
right.
but it's up to you guys.
Does he want to do
Lease to own.
that?
I didn't ask, we could do that. We can ask him.
I think that would
That's
be
what
great.
That would
That would be
perfect.
great.
That'd be perfect
Yeah.
on both
And then we
sides.
can take it off the
Yeah.
market.
Take
And
it.
then-
Take it off the market and then
He's gonna be-
eventually, and it'll be
And
theirs.
see what we'd have to do, or if there's anything that prohibits us from government to do something like that, because normally what happens when you do lease to own is at the end, when they go to purchase it from us, they apply a certain percentage of their rent payments they've
Right.
made towards the down payment.
Right.
So maybe check with the prosecutor's
Yeah,
office and see.
I'll call Chris first.
Yeah,
And make sure that it's a possibility to do, and then I'll call Joe, because I think that would be a win for everyone.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Alrighty, that was easy.
okay.
Should have brought my easy button up.
Yeah.
The next one is retail strategies, and that was the group that originally you guys were thinking about using ARPA funds for, and then decided not to.
It was an allowable expense, I
Okay.
think is what it was, and we had to go to our general fund.
So I went back to Chris and I said, is there anything that you're seeing? He wanted me to make sure that you understood that inside there it's saying from time to time, the consultant, which is retail, can use our logo, our name, and identifying information on their website, probably to say, hey, I work with Portage County, blah, blah, blah. He wanted to make sure that that was going to be okay with you guys. And then the other item was, it terminates automatically after 3 years. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, we don't need it to automatically
No, I wouldn't
over,
think
Yeah, we don't
so.
have to.
because that
Yeah.
is a little dangerous sometimes. And he said that, if you don't want to, we don't need to put in that it will automatically renew for successive or anything. And I said, no, I'm fairly sure that they'll
Think in
keep.
3
it within
years,
And then at the end
people know.
of 3 years, evaluate, make sure you got what you wanted and then go from there.
Yeah.
Good?
I think what Chris may be addressing is he doesn't want it to be thought of as Portage County's endorsing them somehow. That's probably what he's thinking.
I
And I
don't
don't
know.
think that would be an endorsement if they just have done business with, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Because
I
we
think
get
that
that
that's-
a lot of times when we're looking at stuff, they'll say, we work with.
Right,
At the
and-
airport, we did that. Yeah.
So I think that's why he wanted to point it out, just to make sure that there's not going to be.
And let's face it, it's public record anyways that we
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with them, so
Absolutely.
I don't see a problem.
Nope, then I'll get all the rest of the paperwork ready so you guys can sign off.
So see, you should have brought your.
I know. Done. Yeah. All right, we got resolution.
Resolutions, Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement with Portage County Child Support Enforcement Agency and Portage County Prosecutors 5D Investigation Support Division.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to amend Resolution 22-0268 between Portage County Board of Commissioners on behalf of Portage County Jobs and Family Services and the Northeast Ohio Consortium Council of Government and Family Community Services, Inc., for the Cooperative Case Management and Employment Program, CCMEP.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners authorized to enter an agreement with the GPD Group for the preparation of plans and specification and estimate costs for project number MW-021-180, Village of Manaway Water Distribution Replacement for the Village of Manaway Public Water System in Portage County, the Portage County Water Resources Department.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
The Board of Commissioners agrees to enter an agreement between the Wireless Emergency Notification System, WENS, with the Portage County Emergency Management Agency, Portage County Sheriff, and what is the word?
Inspire.
Inspiring Logistics.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Board of Commissioners agrees to declare the necessity of the purchase of a vehicle for use by the Portage County Building Department.
Second,
Roll call?
Tony.
Yes.
Vicky.
yes.
Sabrina.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
All right,
Excellent.
thank you.
Perfect. See you later. All right. Back to me. Okay, so I'm so excited to talk about this program. We briefly discussed, we're having some issues with recruitment and retention of our employees, right? So we're trying to come up with some inventive ideas as to how we can promote employees who want to come to Portage County, and when they're here, stay here. So one program that we talked about in the leadership meeting was, the cost of daycare is just outrageous. It really is crazy expensive. Some of our employees, they're spending $2,500 a month in daycare. That is craziness, right? And at some point they have to make that decision.
Working.
Am I just going to stay home, especially when gas is $5 a gallon?
Exactly.
Should I just stay home? Et cetera, et cetera. So JFS, come on up. JFS stepped up to the plate, and we are discussing offering a reduced cost for child daycare. And I have some numbers here that we would like to share with you. And I'm going to let Callie Jo, and I do have some other information if you've taken it. And we'll answer any questions that you have, but I will let Kelly Jo take over.
This is the hot off the press, so I'm updating data.
Got short arms.
So as Michelle,
Okay, we got.
that's a issue with me. short arm.
Oh, do you need one?
Nope, I got one. Thank you.
So as Michelle said, the directors talked about what it would look like to open a daycare facility for the departments under the Portage County Board of Commissioners offices and make it available here locally on site. So looked at some numbers, did some outreach just to talk about the feasibility. And so what you have before you is a proposal. If I could go through some of the high points and then end at some action steps, if you would support us moving forward with additional research. So we did outreach to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services licensing, child care licensing, to say, is this something that a Job and Family Services office could do, become licensed to operate their own daycare? And the answer was yes. And then the second order was to outreach to the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services fiscal department, and that's Sue's contacts, to ask, is this something that we can operate and fund? And I'll pivot to you and give an update of what they shared with you.
Yep, so I talked to my fiscal supervisor and it's perfectly allowable as long as we do, a few things. The employees would be JFS employees, but they would not be included in our cost pools. So for our indirect costs, because we're not actually funding the program. So we would need a separate fund. They would be paid out of that separate fund, and then there would be no merging then of
commingling of our.
That's a very good idea. Yes.
And so the purpose would be to just provide a support to the employees under your office. And so we looked at the fact that the annex building is currently vacant, except for we're using it for visitation, and the WIC building is currently vacant. So it could be something that's nice and on site here. So we looked about location. Structure wise and administration, Rebecca Abbott is our public assistance administrator. She's over the public assistance programs, cash, food stamps, Medicaid, and childcare. One of the components under that division is childcare certification for type B homes in Portage County. So we currently certify homes that have under 6 kids. So we're very fluid with the licensing specs on the smaller scale, but we absolutely have the contacts with licensing. So then I outreached to licensing and just said, can you give me some guidelines on what it would look like as far as setup and all those things? And there really isn't much to the setup other than you do have to have inspections and meet the codes, for which we would work with our county internal services to ensure that would happen. We received some donations from a church in Windham to help us out in the visitation center. There was a childcare facility that was in Windham that closed down, and they left all of the equipment behind. They would make all of that equipment available to us. So as far as purchasing items, we would need some cribs and height chairs, but they have cots and chairs and tables and coat racks and bulletin boards and supplies and all those things.
And what about like a playground area? Because we have those empty lots that were purchased years ago for additional parking, but I don't know, right outside of where WIC is.
Absolutely. Michelle had talked about maybe we could look for a grant to do something with that. I know we've funded other projects in the community with gyms and playgrounds. Why couldn't we apply for a grant to do the same?
Sure.
So that would be something that would be a cost. So if you look on this, we just, the county was able to provide us with some data. There are 63 children currently on medical plans under 12 or under, I believe, under the Board of Commissioners. So that data there just gives you ages. So it gives a birth date, but it gives a gender and age, and then the zip code for which the family works. And that represents 63 children under your plans. The secondary data on page 3, I did a generic survey of our JFS employees. I did not lend to the fact that we were opening a center. I just assessed what their childcare needs were. So we didn't get 100% reply, but of the replies that we did give, there's 16 children in JFS that are age 11, 23, age 10, you see 4 children age 9. So that's a secondary data source that's represented in the top part because they're under your medical plan. So we're looking at this point, 63 children that could potentially qualify. The highlighted section on page 4 is what I would propose if you would allow us to move forward with, like, building a budget and, doing some formal surveys, that we could operate a childcare center Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and accept children 6 weeks to 11 years old. The rates that I would propose, because we would need to assess rates because we want it to be self-sustaining, right? Would be for infants, this is per week, $150 per week, toddlers, $125, preschool, 100, and full-time, and then do some type of an aftercare program. Below that are data that we collected from 3 local centers. We are not naming them, it just was on their website. So the center that's listed under number 1, it gives you their hours of operation and their rates. So at an infant, full-time rate is $205, so it's about $55 less. If you look at the second center, it's at infant is $230 full-time, and this is weekly. And then the third center, it's $215. So proposing that we would give a reduced cost to our staff, again, just to sustain the daily operations. If you move then beyond that to meal planning, we do not, per the code that I reviewed, need to have like a modified kitchen or setup where we prepare where we would prepare meals, but we have to have the storage availability, refrigeration, and follow the meal plan. So it looks like that guidance is there and that we could absolutely meet those requirements. The next would be licensing timelines. So I outreached to the licensing supervisor for our area and I just said, what's the best case scenario? And she said, the best case scenario would be you could be licensed from 60 to 90 days from date of application. That's if all the stars align, if everything met the specs. And so that was, I was a bit surprised. I know what it took to get our group home license. So that was for me a shorter time frame than what I thought it would be. Of course, we would not have the upfront costs. So that would be something that we would ask you as far as startup costs. And I proposed approximately $50,000. And as Sue said, we would have to work with the auditor and ensure, and Joe to ensure we have the right budget line item and all those things. But we would need to be able to start paying staff before we start collecting fees.
Kelly Jo,
Yes.
of these 63 kids though, do we know the potential of the number of kids that could actually go? Because when I look at this, obviously they'd either have to, especially the older children would have to either be in the district or like once, transportation.
Yeah, in the last section, I'll just draw your attention there, there's some action items. I said, while that data reflects the parents, guardians, employees may need childcare from all departments, really a detailed survey should be administered to gauge if we opened a center, would you transfer your children to a Portage County center? And then we look at those numbers and we could propose the costs and get some type of a tentative commitment because it might not be financially feasible for us to do it. It might not be worth it. I mean, parents have choices and they might not want to leave their centers, but I do think it's an absolute wonderful perk. At the very least, I would like to be able to say, we're considering this and would you be interested in attending our daycare if it was licensed?
Now, would there be a discount if you had like 2 preschoolers, or would it still be $100 and $200 for 2?
I think that would be completely contingent on the interest that we got.
Okay.
Because we're just looking to.
So we're not looking to make money, but it needs to
Absolutely.
pay for itself.
Right.
Yes.
But what if we could get a commitment, if those rates would work, why wouldn't we try to
Yeah.
continue?
Yeah, that's
to
a
have
good
this?
point because
Yeah.
they normally do if you
Right,
have more
right.
than one.
I think this is a great idea, and obviously we have to explore things
Yeah.
further to see if it's doable, but I think it's a great idea. This is a great benefit.
The second action item, if you would allow me to move forward or us to move forward to do the survey would, again, if the need exists, I believe that the childcare specialist could be and should be a union position. It's attractive. So the manager of a facility would not be Rebecca Abbott. We would hire a childcare manager and then create job descriptions for childcare specialists. And I would want to approach our union to see if they would bring them on board to our union. So that would be a second action item. And then the third is with your approval, your support of moving forward with at least the survey. We would work with county administration to meet licensing guidelines. So that would be Michelle and county administrator, and then Joanne and her team. Because, we don't know what the building specs would look like and what we would need to do with that. Fourth, with your approval, after we come back and give you the data, then we would submit an application to the state basically. And then they would come out, they would conduct a site visit and they would give us recommendations or approval and we would move forward. Of course, we would provide monthly updates to the Portage County Administrator and yourselves to just see where things are going. But the very least, I think it's something to at least survey and say,
And see
what do you think?
what the need is.
Because we've got one, I think we've talked to the same person. They've got 3 and it's like $2,400 a month. And I was just looking, that would be like 1,100.
Yeah.
More than half of
We
that.
can really do a great benefit.
Yeah.
I did some quick research.
Yeah.
We have 17 children under the age of 12 in Ravenna. We have 4 in Streetsboro. We have 6 in Kent, 4 in Margador, 3 in Wyndham. To me, that are relatively, you're going to drive a little bit extra, right? Especially Ravenna and Kent, to get this significant savings.
Yeah.
So, I do think that we're piloting just to Board of Commissioners to start.
Board of Commissioners staff.
Just that they do not have to be in our insurance plan. That just was a quick, easy way to get preliminary numbers or those that are insured, but the kids do not have to be on our insurance plan. In order for Corsa to cover our liability, it has to be a county employee that manages it, and it has to be county employee children. We cannot, as a county, offer this to the public.
Mhm.
Okay,
Terrific.
I also ran this quickly by the prosecutor's office.
I think this is
Move
good
forward.
to take.
It sounds like you're
Take a look
covering
into.
bases needed. I mean, I know there's more to cover, but you're on a good
Well,
path.
and I would like to do the survey and send it out and get the data and then present that and you say, yes, let's
Yeah.
move forward.
Yep.
And at least we'll be able to analyze the numbers.
Yeah,
Let's
just
do
like you
step
said, this is just based on the folks that are actually on our medical, because there's several that are not, so there may be more.
This is wonderful.
Let me know what time snack time and nap time is.
I know, right?
Popping down there for some. You don't need those.
Well, as always, we thank you for your support and are willing to be innovative and look at the needs of the employees of Portage County. So thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's exciting.
It is.
Let's see, my God, I have more kids then.
Not in your lifetime.
Contain myself. I was
How
so-
about this turkey here?
You're right. Think about.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Do we have anything else?
Do we have any public comment today? I guess we'll just. You guys
So
go
we'll recess for public.
I love it.
Okay.
Do we have any public commenting? Let's see. Oh, I have to get ready. I'm just kind of organized. So.
Mhm.
All right, well, go ahead. Name. It's been done.
Are we on in?
Okay, we'll go ahead and reconvene. Okay, is there any public comments?
No.
Okay, is there anything else?
Nope.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, Amy?
Sabrina?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.